welcome to Shovelware Diggers. Our dig team is currently excavating the Softkey Shareware 2000 Hit Games 2CD collection. You can find a link in the video description listing the entire directory structure of this archive. Here's what our diggers have for week 246. For more information on how to join the dig team, simply follow the Patreon link in the video description. Now, without further ado, let's get to it. First up, Jacob Rudolph has dug up WINGAMES/comp/HB2R3. I have no idea what this one's going to be. HB2R3. We got some mid files, so we might have some MIDI music here. There's a lot of text files and write files. Seems to be like hum, or is that horn? Can't tell from here. You guys will probably see it better than I can, because when I'm actually recording this, I've actually got like a window that's like half the size of my screen on my screen, and I got to sit back from it. So RN blends in with the M symbol with this font. But I guess the simplest thing to do would be just pick one of these files. Let's do the right file. Hit or miss. So it's HORM, so HORM. That's even more weird. So copyright 93 DSI. Wait. Okay, I got a funny feeling this is not the same distinctive software that made a whole bunch of, popular computer titles, because apparently this particular person here, this Daniel Otis, wants checks and money orders made directly to him. So if this was actually distinctive software selling this, like the actual DSI, then this wouldn't be a thing. Also, the registration for whatever this is $20. Anyways, back to the right file so we can actually figure out what this is. So, Hit or Miss is a fast action arcade game. I gotta get my words right here. For Windows 3.1, featuring digitized sound effects. There are many levels of play and increasing difficulty. And a surprise at the end, there have been a shortage of arcade games for Windows environment and DSI software. If the S in your DSI is software, that might be redundant. It's working and playing towards eliminating that deficiency. Look for more games from DSI in the near future. Yeah, until the real DSI hits you for stealing their name. And then most of this write file is just sort of like an explanation of different things. Like it's saying like there's changers, invisible changers, bonuses, take lives, blocks, apples, pears, and bananas. Like, I'm not sure what it's getting at here. It says here, you want to make sure the ball is always heading for this side, the hit side. Changes often, so be prepared to switch your strategy. Then avoid the miss side at all counts. Walls, solid, ball, paddle, block. Oh, wait a minute, is this a Breakout clone? Well, ultimately only one way to figure this all out. Just run the game itself, made a sort of sound effect. Making lots of sound effects. Registered to unregistered shareware. Okay. Okay, well we definitely have MIDI music. So player management, I guess, new player. And then select it, and okay. Choose, go regular. And let's play with the mouse. So we got a default game and Lando Insanity in this unregistered version. I'll play the default game. This is a practice level, sharpen those reflexes. Okay. So we got a bunch of buttons up here, but this was well before the days of tooltips on buttons like these, so I have no idea what any of those do. So we can turn music on. We got sound, pause on miss, animation delay, difficulty, controls. Okay, that just selects the control. There's an... What? Are you serious? Oh. Well, that's a failing in UI design if I've ever seen one. So, here's a fun fact for those of you who are not experienced in computer software development, or even for some of you who are. UI design is kind of its own thing that surprisingly large number of people, even when they do make software, are not very good at. And one of the things that's really important in good UI design is to make sure that you're dangerous functions are not easily accessible. Putting your uninstaller access in the file menu right next to the demo and exit buttons is really stupid. Okay, so let's start. Okay. So yeah, this... Immediately, this is giving me a very unusual vibe. It's like, kinda like Breakout, but kinda not? Like, here's the weird thing, is that... Okay, so let's resume. So we've got control over this paddle thing. But we're trying to make sure that the... Oh, it flips. At random? That might be at random. But, like, how do we actually get the ball to go somewhere that's not, like, in one of these predetermined paths here? Yeah, I am confused. Oh boy, I was looking through the help just now and noticed something that's a little damning. Oh, what happened to my screen? Presuming that this is about to work the way I think it's going to, if I go to controls and turn it to keyboard, and then go to resume. Oh yeah. So it's using the normal keyboard handler for the controls, so you have to push the buttons individually. If you hold it, yeah, it takes a while to start moving. Oh boy, that's bad. But yeah, like, I mean, I don't understand... Okay, first of all, the graphics are all screwed up now, but I don't understand how you're supposed to get the ball to just go into different places, because it's ultimately just going to follow, like, a particular pattern because of the fact that you can't really adjust the angle. It's always a 45-degree angle. But for crying out... Okay, so get this. There's a minimize button, right? But there's no maximize button. And I tried double-clicking the thing just out of habit to try and get the thing to refresh, and it changed the size of this single border window with no maximize button, which means I'm not capable of getting this screen back to the way it was. Oh, jeez. Okay, there's having a single size border and doing it properly, and then there's that nonsense, because yeah, it won't let me double click at the maximize again because it's not supposed to. Oh. Actually, that's kind of another fun fact, is if you have a maximized window, you have to have a maximize button, otherwise, yeah, weird stuff like this can happen. Okay, so let's try this again and see if we can actually, like, not get slaughtered. Like, here's the thing, it's going to follow the same pattern every single time. You can't really change this. And, like, it's already starting to, like, repeat in some ways. Like, I don't know if this is like normally completable or not because of this. Like, maybe it is, but see, here's the other thing too. This is actually not a bad idea for a game. The problem is that it's very badly executed here. This needs to have like proper fluid motion in order to just play right. Like this doesn't, yeah, this just doesn't feel right. And the other thing too is that because you don't have any control over the direction of the ball, it is pretty much permanently going to be following a particular pattern. Unless the flips are random, which I suspect they are, but then that just makes things even worse because now it's your entire success is based on RNG and not your actual skill at the game. Also, I'm not hearing music even though I have music turned on, so whatever. So that was hit or miss, or HORM. It's, oh. I guess you don't need to clear everything to clear a level? And now there's music. There's so much inconsistency here. Like, again, this is a decent idea for a game, but the execution is just terrible. Next up, JP Ronnie has dug up WINGAMES /MS/WINCMD. I don't know why, but I got a funny feeling this is going to be something that was just taken straight out of Windows. Let's see here, Win Command. Windows Command 91 by Oasis Software. Okay, maybe not. So you need a 286, 386, or 486 operating at greater than 6 megahertz. So, oh, it even says right here, this is Microsoft Windows 3.0. Okay, this seems worded oddly. A Windows command is a Windows application. Its behavior and how you tell it what to do is very similar to other Windows applications. But since it is also an arcade game with lots of action and movement, you should be aware of the following items. Like, that's a very long-winded way of saying, here's how you play the game. Oh boy. Difficulty pop-up menu. Self-explanatory. Here's our explanation that was self-explanatory. Increased difficulty shrinks the size of your defensive missile blasts, forcing you to be more accurate in targeting enemy missiles. That's not self-explanatory. Oh my jeez. Okay, here we go. Object. To protect your cities from enemy attack as long as possible. Play. You're in charge of Missile Silo Alpha. It provides protection of the 6 large cities in Sector Delta from missile attack by those perennial bad guys, the Klingons. And now we're bringing Star Trek into this. So it's like Missile Command / Star Trek. Okay then. Oh, and it says here the Klingons don't discourage easily, and they may send a stealth bomber into the attack. Which, like, if you're gonna use the term Klingons, couldn't you just call them, like, cloaked vessels? Like, that's what they are on the show, they're cloaked. They're not stealth bombers. And it also says here that this is my first published Windows application. Extensive programming effort was involved to try and make Windows Command an entertaining game that is, hopefully, bug-free. Given the fact that we're on Windows 3.1 here in an emulator, and this is Windows 3.0 software, yeah, that might not go so well. If you enjoy it, please register. If you find any difficulty running the program, let me know. And apparently made by a Tim Baldwin, May 23rd, 91. So I didn't see any registration info in here, so it might be in the program itself. So, let's see here. Oh. So yeah, I went to hit the maximize button and it, like, completely cleared the screen. So I'm guessing it'll come back once I actually, like, do something. But anyways, about Windows Command. Windows Command game, version 1.0. Timothy Baldwin, demo version is freeware. Game ends when the score exceeds 20,000. Okay, that's an interesting way of limiting your shareware game. Because, yeah, it's the demo version is freeware, obviously, because that's how shareware works. But, yeah, ending it at a particular score value is an interesting way of doing it. It also says here, the full version is a commercial product. You enter a password to play the game. To obtain the password, send $3 with your name and address. So first of all, it's a very low registration fee for a Windows game. But the other thing too is, given how new this person is to programming, and that you have to put in a password to play the game, I've got a funny feeling it's not going to be based on the name and address of the person purchasing, and that it's probably going to be like a very simple password type thing that just unlocks the program, in which case this password may be, like, inside the executable as plain text. Like, it wouldn't surprise me. But I'm not going to go through the effort of trying to... Oh, the game just automatically started when I did that. Okay, let's just bring it back to... Okay, start it again. Oh, wow. Okay, so I am firing missiles, but you can see that they draw really fast. And I don't actually know how much ammo I have. Maybe it's unlimited? I don't know. But yeah, this is basically a missile command game, although it's kind of weird that it's starting some of these attacks, like, in the middle of the screen. Like, I would expect that in a later level, like, not the first few levels. What is going on? This is difficulty normal average, right? So, I think there's some issues with the game. Yeah, this is probably a result of how fast the emulation is. But, yeah, those are the stealth bombers, and they kind of... I think I would wait a moment before it just totally started annihilating everything again. Yeah, changing the difficulty to very easy didn't do a thing. The system's too fast for this. So end demo, your final score was 5,160. See the about option help, learn how to play the full version of the game. So yeah, that was Windows Command. It's basically a missile command clone with apparently Klingons attacking, although you can't really tell. And stealth bombers that just totally obliterate your city in like a couple seconds if you're on too fast a computer. So, I mean, $3 software, and at the time, computers wouldn't have been this fast. Yeah, there's that stealth. Yeah, I can't even do anything. It just beeps at me if I try to shoot at this point. So, whatever. And our last dig for today from Christopher Groff is WINGAMES /casino sheep 3. I have never heard of a casino game called Sheep. So if I had to guess, I'd say this is going to be some kind of slot machine type thing. But let's see. Sheep Shed, the classic player card game. Oh boy. Wait, if it's a 3-player game, are we even going to be able to play it? Well, let's see here. So, Sheep Shed. The game consists of 3 players. 32 cards are used from a regular playing deck of 52. The 2 through 6 of each suit are excluded from play. The trump suit ranks Queen of Clubs, Spades, Hearts, Diamonds, Jack of Clubs, Spades, Hearts, Diamonds, and Diamonds, Ace, 10, King, 9, 8, 7. Wait. Okay. So, the Queen of Clubs comes first, then all Spades, then Hearts, Diamonds, Jack of Clubs, Spades again. I'm confused. Okay, each player receives 10 cards. The remaining 2 cards are placed face down in the blind or widow. Widow? We're playing with a widow here? What? Beginning with the player to the left of the dealer, each player has the opportunity to pick the blind or pass the blind to the next player. The player that picks the blind discards 2 cards and proceeds to play against the remaining 2 players. Play begins with the player to the left of the dealer. Each player must follow suit. A player that cannot follow suit may play any card. Trick is won with the highest ranking trump or the highest ranking card of the suit led. This sounds like a really complicated card game. I'm willing to bet Fizbin's easier to play than this. Yeah, throwing another Star Trek reference in there. Okay, it sounds like this might have originated in Germany, given the fact that there seems to be a German name for it here, which I don't think I'm going to try to pronounce. It says here is a game of cards that was taught to me by my grandfather and father at an early age. It's a favorite with my family, friends, and particularly my fiancé. Okay then. So apparently this was made by Greg. Ooh, that's going to be a hard last name to pronounce. Tuzos? Tuzos? Tujos? I don't know. As we've established by now, I'm terrible at pronouncing things. And apparently the guy is saying that if you enjoy the game, please send in $10, even though it doesn't look like that's a requirement. But anyways, so let's play. So we gotta maximize screen again with no maximize button, but this time it's not going to a strange size if I double click it, so at least there's that. Although it is allowing me to... Because... Yeah, it wasn't actually maximized. It's a single border window that's taking up the full screen space. Brilliant. And apparently this was made in 1992 from that file date there. Anyways, new game. So, I don't have a clue what I'm doing here. But I'm gonna try to somehow play. So, select card. So the points, previous games, apparently my score is at the bottom here. So select card. I'll take the Queen of Clubs. Okay, so then that 10 of Hearts shows up. And then now what? Ace of Diamonds. No, I can't pick the 8 of Hearts. I can pick the 9 of Diamonds though. Still can't pick, Okay, that's weird. Once you pick a card, you can't actually pick anything else. So... Like, I don't know how well I happen to be doing here. Okay, so, apparently I lost. I really don't know what I'm doing here. The rules in this game are really complex. Like, well, first of all, let's go deal again. I'm gonna, oh, pick blind, I'll pass it. Because yeah, if I go to the, not the about, the help section again and bring up these rules again, like, there is a lot here for what amounts to just picking a card. Like, I'm sure there's some kind of logic to this, but it would take a while to memorize, like, this entire standing of how this works. Especially given the fact that when you get into the cards that aren't like the king, queen, or jack, it says here that the ace is ranked over the 10, which is ranked over the king, which is ranked over the 9, 8, and then 7. Like, this is really, really complicated. Yeah, if I win any of these, it's going to be completely by chance. So I'm not even really trying here. But yeah, that was Sheep's Shed, right? Yeah, this is. I imagine that if somebody actually grew up with this game and knows how to play it, then this would probably be a fine version of it. It's just for someone like me, I have no idea what I'm doing here.